So hi, this is Lee Southern with MMA UK. Today we're going to be talking with John Ambler, who fights out of Submission MMA, Wonwell Barnsley. How are you doing today, Joe?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm not too bad. How's life in lockdown?
As good as it can be, I suppose.
Yeah.
How's you?
Yeah,
Doing good?
you know. Yeah. Just taking a little into ballet. So some things are still normal.
Yeah.
Ready. So I'd like to chat with you today about your progress with the Almighty Fighting Championship.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that you're 2 for 2 at the moment with the MMA record.
Yep.
And they were both for
Both Almighty.
Both Almighty.
Yeah. My first one was in July on Almighty Fighting Almighty Fighting Championship 13, and then my number 2 was in February on number 16.
Number 16. Yeah. So how did the first one go? It was Miles Spencer, wasn't it, your first one?
Yeah. Both debuts. I started pretty slow. It was starting to maybe find a bit of, not exactly rhythm, but he'll put a few combinations together, with his hands. Jabbed him to kind of find my range. Kind of faked a right, then came with left hook, clipped him. Then it kind of wobbled him, fell against cage. Then it shot him for a takedown. Sprawled, end up on top, controlled the position, and then went for submission.
Now, it ended with a really weird submission, wasn't it? You bent.
Yeah, it's like I went side control and I transitioned to scaffold. So I put my leg over his hand and then lifted my hips, which elevated his an I'm not sure if it's like an Americano or Kimura, something along the lines, but I did it from scaffold with my leg.
Yeah. I mean, I've been watching MMA for years. I'd never seen that.
Yeah.
It was just unusual, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's not exactly something I drilled. I mean, in gym, it was working for me. And it just presented itself at night, so I just did it.
Yeah. So is it a Kimura then, because it was just leveling against the joint? Is it a joint attack, a Kimura? Because I know it's the hand position, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's the shoulder. So
right.
I pinned his hand against the floor and elevated his elbow.
Yeah.
I think it puts pressure on his shoulder.
Oh, so it wasn't an elbow?
No. His arm like that, and I was just elevating. So if you just do that, but try to keep your elbow, ankle, wrist, you can feel it on your shoulder.
Oh, right. Yeah. I mean, that was a good win, and you were both debuts at that time.
Yes. So I couldn't find note on him, so I just went in, just tried to prepare for everything. And then ended it. I think it was 1 minute odd. I know it was 1 minute 16. I think.
Yeah, it was
somewhere
first round.
There,
Yeah, good stuff. And so then your second bout was Chris Jackson.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was 1-0, so we're both at the same record. His first fight was on a different organisation, and I think he knocked his opponent out in 7 seconds. So I had a little bit of footage, but there wasn't a lot. Again, that's all I saw. So I just assumed they were, preferred to kind of stand and bang, if you call it. We started the fight. He tried to land that same shot on me. So again, I did see the video of his first fight, and he did a similar thing. And I think he caught me outside the head, but it didn't really matter. It didn't affect me or anything. And then kind of clinched up. And then, I just went into wrestling.
Right.
Wrestling, controlled him, dominated him, ground and pound. It was basically that for 3 rounds. There were probably beginning of that was beginning of the first round, then second and third there were, I don't know, 20, 30 seconds stand up where I was like trying to pick a few shots and that, and then work my way in and just take him down and control, ground and pound.
Yeah.
And end up getting the win.
Yeah, that was a decision win, wasn't it?
Yeah, unanimous, all 3 rounds.
Yeah. Now, did he get injured halfway through that as well? Because I noticed he was limping. He was like struggling to walk at end, wasn't
he? Yeah. I didn't notice through the fight, which obviously if it's true, then, respect to him for carrying on, because I think what I heard after the fight, I think something happened with his knee. I don't know if it twisted or popped out. I'm not sure. Popped out, popped back in. I'm not sure. I think after the fight, he mentioned something like when I took him down. I think it was the second round. I think he said. I think I took him down, and it says is that as I transitioned, I think I must have slid his leg in a way, and I think it just like tweaked his knee or something to do with his knee. I think. But yeah, it's just what happens in it. It's one of the things.
Yeah.
But like that second round, so hats off to him for competing still, for the third round. Because I think I remember at the end of the second, like the ref went over, they were looking at him, came out. So
yeah, and he still came out banging as well. My God,
well,
tough day at office for him.
I mean, I won't say banging. I just took him down and controlled him again.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Radio. So, you did have a fight scheduled for it last month on Almighty.
Yes,
November. In November.
26th or 28th. I think it was 28th.
Yeah.
In Liverpool, yeah. That was for what was supposed to be for the number 1 contendership.
Oh, right.
For the amateur middleweight belt.
Right.
They actually had the fight on that card for the amateur belt, for the middleweight belt. So it would have been perfect to see, to watch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As possible future opponents, but obviously that didn't happen.
Oh, right. So how are you going forward then with Contender? You still got to fight, or did somebody already? Is somebody already through for it?
No, the show got cancelled, didn't it? So the belt's still vacant. Yeah, the show got cancelled, so the belt's still vacant. There were no number 1 contender fight, so obviously I don't think there'll be any more shows this year. So it'll probably be next year, whatever Ray decides, because Ray's the guy who runs Almighty. Whatever he decides to do, no doubt we'll have a chat, and I don't know. He might try to get the 2 guys to fight for the belt again who were already planned, because obviously they were planned.
Yeah.
And maybe me fight for number 1 contender, or they might have moved on to something else, and he might give me the. I don't know. He might not even. He might just say that I've just got to fight again.
Yeah.
So
yeah, just to move back up rank again.
Yeah. Yeah. So just have to see what he decides.
Yeah, I mean that's it. You are building yourself quite a nice reputation going forward.
Yeah. Obviously, my first fight, I threw two punches, like stood up. First one with jab, and I faked where right and came with left hook. The left hook clipped him, and obviously he dropped. Well, he didn't drop it. He wobbled, and then he shot in. And obviously that was submission first round. My second fight was a pretty dominant. He had like half a submission attempt in the first round. Triangle, I think it was. Got that pretty easy. So, pretty dominant. Ground win.
Yeah.
So, like in a way, people aren't really seen me stood up, and which is good in a way, because like my next fight, if my opponent just sees them, he don't really know what to expect, does he? But
that's it. Yeah. You might have actually.
But,
you might have actually got your next opponent ready. He's thinking, I'm not going to ground with him. And so he'll foolishly try and stand with you.
So on floor, I'll go wherever. I'm comfortable.
Well, that's it. You're training out of submission MMA, so I think the clue's in the name, innit?
Yeah. Well, yeah. So they might. I mean, at the minute, obviously not because of lockdown, but when we can, because obviously we've only just finished the month lockdown. So before this lockdown, there were I was training with. He's not exactly my wrestling coach, but he's a catch wrestling world champion. So I've been going to him to train a lot every week. Every week I've been going, and I feel like my son is seen it and he's told me as well, because I don't exactly ask for feedback, but every so often I get a bit of feedback from him, and he says I'm improving every week, and my wrestling is just getting better. That don't mean that people can forget about and stand up still.
Because that's it. You have had boxing matches before.
Yes. Yeah. I've had 3 boxing bouts, won all 3.
Yeah.
I do actually hold a belt on that for the organisation that I fought on.
Right.
I fought a tough guy, Dan Tempest, for the belt, for the cruiserweight belt.
Oh,
so
right.
It's good things to just experience, really, isn't it? Just all experience.
Yeah. So you catch wrestling coach? Is it Ian Jones by any chance?
It is, yes.
Right.
Wizard.
Right. Yeah.
It shows you
He's
one thing.
Old Snake Pit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Snake Pit. Is he Europe or UK champion? And then I think in February is going to. Is it Los Angeles or somewhere in America? He's going in February to compete with the US world champion.
Right.
Because I think even though they're called Snake Pit, I think they're still like separate. Like they run separate, if you know what I mean. Even though they're both Snake Pit, I think they run separate.
Yeah.
So I think it's competing and fighting, wrestling, in February for that belt.
Nice.
But crazy stuff he knows. It
Yeah.
shows you one thing, it leads to like 20 other things.
Yeah.
This don't work, do this. That don't work, do this. I'm just like, I just try and. It shows you that much. From each session, I just try to remember at least 3 things.
Yeah.
Because it shows you that much.
Yeah. I mean, I can remember he fought against Josh Barnett.
Yes.
Didn't he? Through in Warrington as well at proper Snake Pit place.
Yes. Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Because I've met Ian a few times before, and apparently because he, like catch wrestlers around the world, are in awe of and the legend of the Snake Pit.
Yeah. It's big in like the wrestling world, if you want to call it. Yeah, it's real big. Been going to him, improving on my wrestling.
And so your normal coach then, Darryl Westcott.
Yes.
Have you managed to get much training in with him? Through this year.
Well, obviously, at the beginning, I was still preparing for Almighty in February. So obviously that was just full training. I actually didn't. And then obviously I think it was March. Lockdown started for what was that, 3-4 months?
Yeah.
I think the first lockdown. So barely did all. Got fat, out of shape. And then that finished. Picked it up a little bit. We went training again. And then this lockdown, just I ain't let my son go like I did last time. Just been doing what I can, really. Just doing what I can.
Yeah, just try to keep yourself a bit ready, like. Mm-hmm. You did a bike ride as well, didn't you, recently?
well, recently.
Sponsored by Ridefoot Gym, right?
Yeah, to raise money for the gym. When was that?
That'll have been summertime.
Yeah, summertime. I think it was June or July, I think.
Yeah.
Sure it was, yeah. I did a bike ride to raise money for the gym. My uncle bikes a lot, so I got him on board to help me out. And then one of his good friends, close friend of the family, he also came with us. So us three, we did, I think it was 126 mile. We went from Barnsley to Hornsey on the east coast, and then finished off. Can't remember what's just above it. I think is it Bridlington? I think it's just above it. I think it was. So we did Hornsey, then just up the coast.
Oh right.
I think it was Brid. I can't remember. I think it was.
Yeah.
126 mile.
So just much funds needed then just for gym to get it through lockdown.
Yeah, it helped him. Just helped with, obviously general bills for gym, and I know he bought some new equipment for gym as well. So yeah, just all money went to gym. Whichever way it went to gym, bills or equipment.
That's a wonderful gesture. It is.
I told him, I says, I'm not doing another this lockdown.
He'll be racing around for fish and chips next.
I know. Oh, I had that when I got to the coast though.
Fish and chips.
Yeah, they shut at 8 p.m. and we got there at 10 till. I would have been very angry if we missed that.
Yeah, you can't beat fish and chips at coast.
No, it will. And because they were just finishing, they'd spare fish. So actually, I had 2 fish. Oh. Says, yeah, they went, do you want this? If not, it's just going to go in bin. I was like, yeah, go and put it on.
Yeah, nice one.
You can't
miss out on free fish.
No.
Oh dear. Anyway, dude, that's about time with me done. I'd like to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And all the best for next year as well. Hopefully, Almighty Fighting Championship champ. Yes, hopefully. Got a few things possibly starting to line up anyway for the beginning of next year. Oh, right. Yeah, so fingers crossed, there you go. Are you ready to reveal anything? Well, so not set because obviously what's going off, but obviously I don't know what Almighty is doing, and just to stay active, I'm talking to 1 or 2 other organisations that's possibly, hopefully fingers crossed, doing shows. Oh, right. So January, February, March time. Fingers crossed. Right. I want the plan for this year was to be active as I could. Yeah. Started off well February, pretty early in year. We all know that went 2020. Yeah. So I'm hoping next year. I'm hoping next year can just be like as active. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, I wish you all the best with that then, dude. Sorry. Say again, sorry. I wish you all the best with that. Yep. For next year. Thank you. And again, Merry Christmas.